Jake Stuart with the National Sports Media Association, and today I'm joined by Montana Sportscaster of the Year, Zach Mackey. Zach, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Well, first off, congratulations on your award. I wanted to ask you, so Zach, you're the voice of the Montana State Bobcats, and that's kind of your main coverage. What brought you into sports to begin with?
Well, I started, Jake, whenever I was in high school, and I really wanted to go into broadcasting. I kind of got thrown into it. My dad was a high school athletic director, and I really liked it. And said, hey, I see that people are doing this for jobs and careers. So I went ahead and decided that when I was going to college, this was something I wanted to pursue. I went to college at the University of Iowa and enjoyed my time there and got a lot of experience. And luckily, things opened up at Montana State. I was able to go over there and join that crew. And it's been great. There's been a lot of success there. It's been a lot of fun. I had never been to Montana or anything until that started up. But I just started young, wanting to get into broadcasting and kind of got my foot in the door and decided, hey, this is something I like. It's something I want to continue to pursue. And luckily I've been able to do it so far.
Now, let me ask you this, Zach. You've been able to, like you said, cover sports in Iowa, obviously a very, big school environment there, and now Montana State. Can you talk about the difference there? And we haven't had that perspective brought in yet. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it is quite a bit different. When I was at Iowa, doing baseball and filling in different areas, you get this sense that, okay, you're doing this area. I wanted to be able to do the biggest games on a campus. And if that's football and men's basketball, like it is at Montana State, then, that was an opportunity I wanted to pursue. I like the idea at Montana State. I can, walk around to the athletic department and see just about anybody. You can go up to anybody. Just about everyone knows everybody within that athletic department, which obviously is not the case at some of the bigger schools and some of the other places. So that's one of the cool elements. The other thing is while making the jump from a Power 5 program, and helping out there to being the voice of a Division I, but FCS, mid-major type of program, I wanted to make sure that it was somewhere that people care about. And luckily at Montana State, the people care about it. There's people everywhere, at football games, at basketball games, attendance is at the higher marks at this level. So, that makes it fun for me, but it is that kind of smaller type of vibe. Everyone knows each other, and that kind of makes it fun on a daily basis.
Well, Zach, this is your first award from the National Sports Media Association. Well, what does it mean to you?
It's really cool to be recognized, in this type of instinct, because I know a lot of the people we have opportunities to be able to send our tape and have other people listen to it, see what they think. But this is one of the cool opportunities where, you don't really have to send it out. People just say, okay, I've heard this and it sounds good. And, it's worthy of receiving this award. So that's what makes it really cool for me. Being the first time, I can remember following the awards and seeing who won each state and, kind of seeing who were the people excelling in those different states. So it's kind of neat to be able to be a part of that. It's obviously by your peers too. So it's people who are in the industry and know the industry trends and different things like that. So I think that's what makes it really cool too, because these are people not just off the street. These are people that have been in the industry and know what needs to be said, what it needs to sound like to be able to be award winning in that. So I was very honored to be able to be with this group and to be recognized.
Well, you spoke earlier, Zach, about taking this passion and this interest for broadcasting and pursuing it and making it a career. Who were maybe some of the broadcasters that you looked up to that maybe helped you get into the industry, or just people you looked up to when you first got started?
Yeah, I growing up in the state of Illinois, I followed Adam Amin very closely, and Adam's been very nice to me and helped me out, let me come around and see things, different times. And that type of stuff when I was younger continued to bring that passion that, I wanted to go into this, wanted to be able to do it. Gary Dolphin at the University of Iowa was, great to me and gave me opportunities and helped me out. Always been able to call and talk to him. So, that's somebody that has been really great, someone to be able to, rely on. Even guys like, Dan Schulman, when I was a young guy, emailing him, and he let me come up to the booth and be able to see one of their Sunday night baseball broadcasts was, something that I won't forget. So, there's so many people, I think, in the industry that are willing to help out and willing to give you a shot and willing to, listen to your tape, do different things like that. And, I'm always appreciative of anyone that is able to help out those new people who are coming up, or, those people who just want an opportunity.
Well, Zach, you're still a young guy, but you have a recognizable voice. You've been covering plenty of games, plenty of big games as well. Can you tell our listeners maybe about a game or two that really stands out to you so far?
Yeah, well, this year I've been pretty lucky at Montana State to do the national championship game against North Dakota State, and then to get to do an NCAA tournament game just a couple of weeks ago too. That was my first. So those both were really cool opportunities. At the FCS mid-major level, that's as big as it gets between those two. So I think we had a semifinal game at home against South Dakota State that the winner was going to the national championship, and that was a game I won't forget. That was a really, really cool game inside Bobcat Stadium in Montana State. We had 20,000 people. We had a sold out crowd. We had just a lot of hype and something that hasn't been done at Montana State in a really long time. So it's cool to be able to have those experiences. I know a lot of the people, in this will tell you that it's a lot more fun traveling with a team that's winning than what it is a team that isn't. So to be able to have that the last couple of years has been fun. And those are two moments that I really wanted an opportunity to be with a successful football program and to go to the national championship, but to have the opportunity to call an NCAA tournament game too was pretty cool, and something I'll remember for sure.
I bet both of those moments are pretty sweet to be a part of too. You talked about traveling earlier and being able to travel with the team. I'm sure obviously COVID put a little bit of a dent in that. I want to ask you too, Zach, we've been asking some of our winners this question. How much did COVID impact your work as a broadcaster?
Yeah, it definitely obviously stopped things immediately whenever it happened. I can remember we were at our conference basketball tournament, and all of a sudden sit there and the NBA canceled their season, and it's like, okay, well, I think the boulder's going to keep coming downhill here. This is going to get stopped up pretty soon. And when it did, there wasn't a lot going on. Montana State didn't play in the fall, and then they were one of the few teams in our conference and in FCS that elected that we're not going to be able to play in the spring either because of the snow and different things still coming through Montana. So we went an entire year without football. Still had basketball back in the 2020 season. And, it was weird. I know going every other day to go get tested and wanting to make sure that, as the guy that is broadcasting this games, you don't want to be the one to give the team COVID or anything like that. So being safe in that way, while also luckily Montana State, though, afforded me the opportunity to still travel with the team and still be with them through the basketball season, which I know a lot of people did remote broadcasts. I luckily didn't have to do a football or a basketball game remotely. But I went an entire year without football, and I think that's a lot why, the excitement was around this year. People were really excited and eager to be able to get back and get back to a sense of normal here with the normal football season. But it was weird. I think it made a lot of people stop and think about where they are, what they want, be able to improve different ways. I know I went to a couple of virtual seminars, different things like that, and tried to improve because let's face it, I mean, there wasn't a lot of sports going on. There wasn't a lot of broadcasting to be happening. So, you had to fill your time other ways. And that was, one of the ways that I found.
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to, still travel with the team and still be able to be, a part of the action despite the football season being delayed and being canceled. Last question for you, Zach, and thank you so much again for your time. I want to ask you about some advice you'd like to give to some younger listeners and some people just getting into the industry and wanting to be sportscasters, what advice would you give out?
I would just say to just keep pursuing, keep going forward. Don't, sometimes I know that in this industry, you could try to plan your path forward. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I was very guilty of it, especially in college and that about, okay, well, what's going to, instead of just enjoying the moment, enjoying where you're at, enjoying, the step that you're in right now, I think too much you can get to where you're trying to say, okay, I need to do this. This is my next jump, this. A lot of times I always think if you're good to people and if you do a good job, you're going to be just fine, and it's going to work its way out. It's going to end up coming your way. And, that's kind of been just my mindset, that you can't always try to plan it out, that this is what's going to happen, because it's an industry that things change in an instant. Things take a while sometimes to change. You never know what exactly is going to happen. So you can't stress about things that, you don't really have a control over. And a lot of those are what jobs open, where you're going, how it's going, all of that. You just got to kind of roll with the punches. And that would be my advice to someone wanting to get into it.
Or live in the moment and enjoy what's in front of you. Well, hey, Zach, we hope, you enjoy this award, 2021 Montana Sportscaster of the Year. Hopefully we'll see you in Winston as well. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Appreciate it. Can't wait for the award ceremony this summer.
Absolutely.